Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully this finds you doing well. And today is Saturday, November 27th in the year 2021. And as always, please feel free to subscribe. Click the thumbs up if you like the video. And feel free to comment, because I love reading comments, but I usually don't get that many comments. So please feel free to comment. And of course, share this video if you so desire. Anyway, I might talk a little bit today about, Mazke's finances. Because as you know, if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that, I moved down to Florida last March. And we had our house up in Virginia that we were fixing up. And we finally got it ready, put it on the market. And within the first day or so, we had offers on it. And we accepted an offer. And it was a conditional one that we found out our kitchen counter that we had ordered. It was one of the last things that had to be done. Kitchen counter and some, the trim work on the floor. It's not called trim work on the floor, but the little piece that goes down there. They were both delayed from Lowe's. But the trim work we got in pretty quick. The kitchen counter took a long time to come in. Like it took past closing to come in. And it finally came in. Like we closed in September and it finally came in late October, early November. We're late November now. But then when it came in and they installed the kitchen counter, the dishwasher wasn't installed. The dishwasher wasn't hooked up properly. So they had to get someone else back into the house to hook the dishwasher up perfectly. So finally, as of, 2-3 weeks ago, it's done. We have received the money from selling the house, but there's no strings attached. We have no connections. The house is no longer ours. We have nothing left to do there. It's done, which is cool. All right. So anyway, the missus is down here now. She came down in September and she's been here a little over 2 months, 2.5 months roughly, because we're almost in December now. So a couple things have happened since then. One, the weather is cool. The weather has cooled off. There's a misconception about Florida that it's always hot and humid. It's not. I'm in South Florida, and we are having about the most perfect weather now for the past several weeks. Every day, high temperatures, usually in the 70s, might hit 80, it might be 75, 77, 79. Nighttime temperature, low 60s. It might touch down to 59 or something. But it's ideal. It's perfect. The only downside to it is I have a swimming pool. And the swimming pool is getting a little cooler because it's like this morning it was 73 degrees in the pool water. And 73 degrees might sound warm, but if you have a swimming pool, you realize most of the time when you swim, the water temperature is 85, 90 or above. I think before I came here, I worked part-time at a YMCA, and I think they kept their pool at around 100 degrees, I believe. I might be wrong on that. But the pool was 73. The coldest I've swam in it so far is 74. So I will see if it warms up to 74 this afternoon. I plan to swim in it this afternoon. But I'm also waiting for a washing machine to come. We got a new washing machine from Lowe's and it's supposed to be delivered today. So they give you a window of time, which will be later today, that it's supposed to come. So then we'll see. We'll see if I get in the pool before they come, or if maybe they'll come right at, say, 2 o'clock and it gets done and I get in the pool at 2:30 or 3. We'll see. We'll see what the temperature is. If I wait too late, the sun will start going down. And whatever it topped out at, it'll go down. But anyway, I digress. I was calculating this morning. I was trying to figure out, all right, the missus has been here 2.5 months. We haven't had to. I finally paid off all the bills up there. When you sell a house, you still have like an outstanding electric bill, water bill, gas bill. Paid that off. Paid some other stuff off, whatever it was, just stuff, taxes or whatever it was connected with the house. But I think everything is finally paid off, which is good. So I sat down this morning and I started calculating, and I was like, how do I calculate this? It's like, how much money do I have every month? I don't know. I have always lived my life. I make X number of dollars. My goal is to spend Y number of dollars, less than the X. And I have a difference there that I save and invest, okay? I've done that almost from, not my earliest working years, but say, once I was married, let's say. I started doing that, especially once I had kids. I started doing that. But once I joined the Navy, I never spent my entire paycheck. I always saved something. Okay, so anyway, right now we have an interesting financial picture. We have no W-2 income. Okay, if you're working a job, you get a W-2. That's W-2 income. Let's say we have no. It's first time in our lives, basically, that we have no W-2 income coming in. But we have rental checks coming in. I have a pension coming in. I have oil money coming in. And that's about it. I get a little bit of money from the Motley Fool. Like once a quarter, I get like a couple $100. Not much at all. Just a tiny bit. And so all that's coming in. And then we have expenses going out. I have roughly 20 or 21 mortgages that I pay. Some of the mortgages I have through seller financing, which means I then have to pay taxes and insurance separately for those because it's a person I'm paying. I'm not paying a bank, so there's no escrow account. I also own a house free and clear, one of my rental properties, so I pay tax and insurance separately for that one. All right, so every month I'm paying homeowners insurance, a couple $100 every month for homeowners insurance for my rental property. And then usually about twice a year, more than that, because I have property in 3 different states, I'm paying property taxes. And I just sent off checks yesterday, I think it was, because I pay most online, but then the ones in Virginia, I think it was, I paid by writing a check and putting them in the mail. They're due in December, so I allow plenty of time for them to get them. So that'll be done. Taxes are paid for the year. Okay. But anyway, I sat down, I calculated how much. I was trying to figure out the best way to calculate my finances. So I sat down, I calculated how much rent have I received in from January until today, November 27th. How much rent have I received in? So I took that amount, and I haven't received all of my November rent in. I will get just a little bit, probably next Tuesday. It might be in my bank account by Wednesday, the 1st of December. It would be rent for November, though. And one of my tenants who I know in Virginia, he's late, and he's going to pay me next Friday. And that'll be November rent, and 2 weeks later, he'll pay me December rent. Okay, so anyway, I calculated rent that I have received. I either received it or, in the case of some rent for this month, I received the email maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, so it should probably be my bank account. It's not there. I didn't check today. It could be in the bank account today, or it might be there Monday. If it's not there today, it'll be there Monday. So anyway, adding all my rent up, I'm not too shy about. I won't share all my financial stuff, but I'm not shy about saying certain numbers. Rent received year to date is there it is. Rounding it off just a tad bit is $177,000. That's by rounding down. If I round up, it's $178,000. So we'll say $178,000 is rent received year to date. I also receive a pension. So if you add together rent received and my pension, I didn't write this down. I'm over $200K a year, 210-ish K a year. But out of that though, I got to pay 20 plus mortgages, 21 mortgages perhaps. I got to pay all that insurance, all that taxes. And then you got your normal household bills. And I got a mortgage on my personal residence, which is over $3,000 a month that I got to pay. So I was trying to figure out how much money do I have left over each month? Because what I've done, you've heard me talk about running the numbers. When you run the numbers on a rental property, you set aside a certain percentage for reserves, okay? What I've done is I have money set aside for reserves, and I've let it accumulate to a certain number. And then I'm not worried about every month taking that percentage to put in there because I'm keeping a certain number in there. I got a call coming in, so it's blocking my screen here. It's probably spam. But I got a certain amount of reserves that are in the bank. So I don't necessarily put that percentage in from the rent each month. As I spend the reserves, like I put a new roof on a house just recently, then I will replenish it. Okay, and I may not replenish it immediately. I may replenish it over time, which this call would clear out. There we go. It just cleared out. All right. So anyway, then I try to look at, all right, whatever cash I got left over each month, after I pay all my bills, my mortgage, my electric, my water, my internet, my cell phones, buying our food, buying stuff for the swimming pool, buying plants. We got a lot of plants. I'll make a video one day showing our plants. putting gas in our car. And we drive way less than we used to. When you don't have to work a job, we drive way, way less. And we live close to everything. So our weekly trip is where we might drive more, because I am planning to make a weekly trip somewhere once a week. All right. And then, of course, you just buy stuff. Everybody buys stuff. So I tried to come up with an estimate of how much I spend each month on that. And then I came up with how much I have left over at the end of the day. And it appears that, oh, sorry, I scribble on my notes, so I'm sorry to delay this here. Let me figure something out here real quick after that. It appears we got $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month left over. It appears somewhere around there, because it fluctuates a bit. And I didn't calculate my expenses down to the penny, like the stuff we buy. What does that average? I didn't calculate what we average out. But at the same time, what I didn't calculate was, because I haven't figured this up yet, how much do I spend each month to repair rentals where I need to replenish the reserves? Okay, so that's not taken out of that. Because remember, I got my reserve stockpile built up, kind of, sort of. But I got, as I spend out of that, I got to replenish. And I don't just spend out of that. I just got, my money's spread out everywhere. Like, if you come rob me in my house, you ain't going to get anything. You might get a couple quarters. That's about it. I don't carry cash, so you're not going to get anything. So anyway, I was thinking about that. It's like, we seem to be doing okay. It's, I'm not a spreadsheet junkie, even though I got spreadsheets. I'm not calculating my expenses down to the penny, nothing like that. But with the missus not working now for 2.5 months, with her being down here, it seems like we can live a normal life, an average lifestyle. If you call it average, living in this house, swimming in a pool every day, having a kayak and going on the canal whenever we want to. If you consider that a normal lifestyle. And we can pay all our bills and still have money left over. Okay, because I've been going through, in recent months, $11,500 to rehab a house, $5,200 to replace a roof, $3,200 to cut a tree down, $2,400 to cut 2 trees down, $3,400 to repair work in a house where a tree fell on it, and it was some mold got in there, water leaked in, got mold, and it's like, I paid for that. Routing out a couple sewer lines. So just in the past 3 months, I've paid, what did I just say? It's probably $25,000 above and beyond. That's not normal. It's just extra stuff. All right, and I got a tree guy that was going to do some trimming today, but his bucket truck, the hydraulic line broke. So he texted me and said he's going to be probably next weekend. He has to get that fixed. But that's only going to be like $575. Okay, so we truly don't have $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month extra cash flow every month, because part of that will be to replenish the reserves for the rental houses. And also, with all the calculating I did, what I have not, I don't project outward to the detail. All I project outward is like, all right, if we keep doing what we're doing, we should be okay. As long as I'm spending less than I bring in, I should be okay. But projecting outward, I got some revenue that should be increasing. My oil revenue was 7.7% this month. So I was told by my contact that this month's revenue and all the revenue I've gotten the past few months, if we fast forward to March or so, April, it'll seem like a little blip, because the expectations are that the returns will astronomically, maybe not astronomically, but they will take off. And as they take off, the small returns now is 7.7%. It may jump up to 25%, 37%, 50%, 75% return, annualized returns. And then at the same time, I bought mineral rights acreage starting back September into October, I think it was, maybe coming into November also. And the mineral rights acreage should start coming in February, March. Worst case scenario for me, the slowest one could be April. So say starting February, hopefully I get the first couple coming in, and then in March more will pick up. So how much money will that be? I don't know. Until I start getting the oil money in, I just don't know. I'm estimating, and I could be totally wrong here, $5,000 a month extra between the oil and the mineral rights. If it's bad news on both ends, $3,000 a month extra. If it's great news on both, $7,000 a month extra. So if we're doing okay right now, paying all our bills, because life is expensive. One thing to keep in mind, if you're thinking, wow, Mazske, you got all this money, extra money a month, keep in mind, the nicer of a house you have, the more expensive it is. It's just more expensive. You know, I just had roof work done, and that was like $5,000, $5,200, whatever it cost. I'm getting a fence built. I'm getting some shrubs cut down. That's $1,700. I'm getting a fence built. That's $6,000 to $7,000. I'm getting my dock, my tiki hut built in the next few months. That's $18,000, something like that. My pool pump is 20 years old. I'm going to need a new pool pump sometime, probably next summer. I want to make a saltwater system on my pool. And we just got the house needs a little bit of tweaking here and there above and beyond what I just said. So homes are expensive. All right. If you're a beginning investor, I'll encourage you to do, if you're still tuned in, to do one of two things. One, rent your own primary residence. Just rent it. Because when you rent it, that's what you pay is the rent. You don't pay for any repairs, or capital expenditures. You don't put a new roof on your rental property that you live in if you're paying rent to someone else. Or number two, this is the better deal, is house hack. Buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex. Live in one unit, rent the others out, let your tenants pay your mortgage. That's the best way to do it. All right? That way you're cutting down on your expenses, but you're maximizing your income. Passive income. Passive income is the buzzword for a lot, especially for the younger folks. Passive income is the buzzword. If you invest in stocks, it's more difficult to have passive income. If you invest in rental property, you can get passive income. It takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, but you can get passive income. But truly passive income I have found is the oil and the mineral rights acreage. When I buy it, I pay no closing cost. I pay no taxes. I pay no insurance. And it might take several months to get going. But once it gets going, it's just revenue. It's a paycheck. It's just monthly income, however you want to say it. It's just money coming in. There's no expenses paid out. When I get rent money in, I gave you a big number of $177,000 in rent. I don't get to put all that in my pocket. I pay a chunk out. I pay almost $100,000 in mortgages, I think, just estimating. And I pay taxes, I pay insurance. I pay a lot of money out in expenses. Okay, so all that doesn't come in my pocket. But with the oil and the mineral rights, that's just pure profit, basically. So anyway, I don't know if I confused you, because Mazske's finances can be confusing, and I didn't give you all the details, but I generalized and gave it to you in a nutshell. So what do you think? Is Mazske doing okay? He's not working a paying job. I work this YouTube channel. This is a job. I don't get compensated for this. Today I was struggling and say, what am I going to talk about today? What am I going to talk about today? Because there's so many, I've made 200 videos. I've deleted a whole bunch of them, but 200 videos, 300 videos. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I know I do at times. And I always want to talk about something fresh, but I don't want to copy other YouTubers. I don't want to do a recap of the various news like some YouTubers do. So I'll try to touch on a little bit of everything. As time goes on, you're learning about my investments. I will be honest with you which one's doing better for me. I can tell you the most stressful one right now is my rental property. Rental property is the most stressful, but yet it can be, but I will also say at the same time, rental property is what will really create your wealth for you better than any other investment. If you're starting from nothing, rental property will create your wealth for you. Okay? All right, well, I've said enough. This video is about twice as long as what I normally make, so I'm going to wrap this up. It's a beautiful day out there. My washing machine should be coming in the next hour or two or three. The pool's calling me, and we may take the kayak out later today as well. So Y'all stay safe, keep smiling, keep loving life, and get your passive income coming in. All right? All right, Mazske signing out.